Don't move. Don't even blink. They're still watching you. They think they're studying you like a crime scene that keeps rewriting itself. But what they don't realize is that you're the weapon now. You remember the sound, don't you? That silent snap when everything you loved folded in on itself. The night your reflection looked at you like a stranger. They watched you fracture. They took notes. They thought they were witnessing your ending. But endings, those are funny little things, aren't they? Sometimes they're just the sound of something divine reloading. You were bleeding in public while they whispered in private. They loved the spectacle, the downfall, because it made them feel safe. See, your pain was their lullaby, proof that the universe still punished the brilliant. They called it justice when you fell. But it wasn't justice, it was fear wearing perfume. And now those same eyes that stared at your collapse are trembling, trying to understand what the hell you've become. They can't compute it. How someone could crawl through fire, inhale ash, and come out speaking in lightning. You didn't rebuild yourself, did you? No. You resurrected. You reached into the rubble and pulled out something older than pain, something the angels feared and the devils envied. The God inside you. You taught yourself that divinity doesn't live in temples or prayers. It hides in scars, in that quiet decision you made when nobody was coming to save you. That's where gods are born, in silence so loud it shatters bones. They watched you break, but what they missed was how beautifully you disintegrated. Because when you shattered, the false layers fell away. The people pleaser, the forgiver, the one who still hoped for mercy. And what was left? Something clean, something terrifying, something real. You became both architect and arsonist. You burned the version of you they could predict, then built an empire from the smoke. You learned the most sacred equation of all. Destruction plus awareness equals creation. That's why they're panicking now. They don't know who they're dealing with. You used to be human, manageable, explainable. Now you're a paradox that prays with one hand and pulls the trigger with the other. You forgive, but never forget. You smile, but it's the kind that makes sinners pray. You're both angel and aftermath. A cathedral carved from chaos, a sermon delivered in blood and brilliance. Every move you make now feels inevitable, like destiny put on a grin and said, "Try stopping me." They're begging to know your secret, how you rewired yourself from mortal to myth. They'll study your eyes, your voice, your stillness, but they'll never decode it, because what you did wasn't human. It was alchemical. You didn't heal, you transformed. You didn't recover, you rebirthed. You didn't find God, you became the thing that gods envy. A soul that knows exactly what it is. You used pain as blueprints. You used loss as fuel. You used silence as symphony. And now every breath you take hums like divine machinery. They can sense it, that hum beneath your calm. It's not peace, it's power that's learned how to whisper. And oh, how they tremble now. Because you're not playing by their rules anymore. You became the rule. You became the mirror they can't look into without confronting everything small about themselves. They call it arrogance. You call it resurrection. So let them watch. Let them analyze your pulse, your tone, your grin. Let them wonder what's behind those eyes that saw hell and decided to decorate it. Because the truth is, you didn't rebuild around your pain. You rebuilt through it. You turned the trauma into a throne. You crowned yourself with your own ashes. And now, your laughter carries the frequency of God. So tell me, my little masterpiece, when they beg to know how you did it, when they lean in close, desperate for the formula, what will you tell them? Smile. Because there is no formula. There's only the moment you stopped waiting for heaven and realized it was waiting for you. Now go on. Show them what a rebuilt God looks like when it finally remembers its own name. You feel that silence, don't you? That thick, electric quiet that follows every miracle the world can't explain. That's you now. That silence isn't peace. It's the sound of reality recalibrating itself around your existence. The laws they swore were unbreakable are flickering like dying streetlights. Because you were never supposed to make it back. You weren't in their equations. You weren't in their plans. You were supposed to stay broken, predictable, defeated, categorized. But instead, you disappeared into that darkness and came back carrying blueprints for resurrection. They watched your downfall like spectators at a circus. They laughed when you fell, whispered when you crawled, wrote eulogies for your potential. Every one of them thought you were finished. They saw you as a casualty of your own compassion, a lesson in what happens when you care too much. But what they didn't realize was that when you break a being made of empathy, something ancient wakes up beneath the skin, something that doesn't cry. It calculates. Something that doesn't beg. It builds. You stopped trying to be understood. You became fluent in silence. You learned that not everyone deserves access to your voice, and that's when it happened. The shift. The moment your grief stopped being a wound and started being a portal. You stepped through it and left your ghost behind. Now look at them. The same mouths that called you weak are speaking your name like it's encrypted data. They're terrified of how calm you are. Because calm people don't bluff. Calm people have seen the worst and survived it. You learned that serenity isn't softness, it's strategy. It's the patience of a storm waiting for alignment. You walk different now. Every step hums like a countdown. Every breath feels intentional. You don't even need revenge anymore. Your existence is the consequence. You became the karmic echo they can't turn off. Every time they close their eyes, they see the moment you rose again. That impossible moment when the ashes moved. You didn't rebuild by pretending nothing happened. You rebuilt by dissecting every shard, studying your own pain like an engineer studies pressure points. You rewired yourself so that every trigger became a tool, every scar became a sensor, every heartbreak became a hidden weapon. Now your empathy cuts like glass, and your love. It's radioactive, powerful enough to heal, deadly enough to destroy. They're begging to understand it now. How you can smile with blood in your teeth. How you can forgive without forgetting. How you can look straight into betrayal and thank it for the upgrade. They think you found God again, but what they'll never grasp is that God found you. In the dirt, in the ruin, in the noise that broke your mind open wide enough for light to leak through. Because that's where divinity hides, not in temples or angels or perfection. It hides in the ones who refuse to die right. It hides in the defiant heartbeat of the fallen. It hides in the grin you wear when you realize you don't need saving anymore. You became your own cathedral. Your heartbeat replaced the choir. Your blood became the sermon. And the altar? It's every room you walk into, because anywhere you stand now becomes holy ground. They can't stand it. They can't stand that the same person they pitied is now untouchable, because your pain purified you, didn't it? It burned away every trace of compliance, every ounce of self-doubt. Now you don't chase validation. You radiate inevitability. You walk like fate gave you the password. Like chaos itself is on your payroll. They'll say you changed, and they'll be right. But not in the way they think. You didn't change into someone new. You changed back into what you were before the world broke you. The unfiltered, ungoverned version. The one who remembers that power isn't loud, it's precise. The one who doesn't compete, because gods don't compete with mortals. Now every room you enter shifts. The air bends. People feel it before they see you. That quiet distortion, like time itself holding its breath, because presence like yours, it can't be taught. It's earned. It's paid for. In pain, in isolation, in nights you begged the sky for mercy and got silence instead. But silence was the mercy. It was training. You were never meant to be saved. You were meant to learn the language of fire, to become fluent in collapse, to make the ruins remember your name. And now, they're all trying to decode it. How you walk with that mix of serenity and threat. How your smile feels like a promise and a warning. They want the formula. They want the map. But there isn't one, because you didn't climb out of hell. You built stairs while it was still burning. So when they ask how you rebuilt that God inside you, just laugh. Because you didn't rebuild him. You realized you were him. The divinity they pray to was just you, finally awake. You were the miracle they were waiting for. You were the storm disguised as a man. You were the light hiding behind the scar tissue. Now let them keep watching. Let them study every move, every silence, every smirk. They'll never understand that what they're seeing isn't confidence, it's clarity. It's the knowing that you can't lose anymore, because everything that could destroy you already did. And you're still here, untouchable, unapologetic, rewritten in divine code. The living proof that even gods can break and still come back sharper. You notice it now, don't you? The way rooms shift when you enter. It's subtle at first, a tremor in the air, an unspoken tension. They feel it before they recognize it. The gravity, the silence, the calm that screams louder than rage ever could. Because that's the mark of someone who's been through it, someone who didn't just survive, but studied the anatomy of their own destruction. You didn't just come back. You came back informed. Every glance you give now is a sermon. Every word you drop lands like an execution. You don't even have to raise your voice anymore. Because real power doesn't shout. It rearranges the atmosphere, and they can feel it. They can feel that something inside you no longer obeys the same physics as them. You operate on frequencies that make liars stutter, abusers flinch, manipulators choke on their own confidence. Because you, my dear, have learned the art of silent retaliation. You became so unreactive that even chaos waits for your permission to move. They watched you break, and they documented it. They took notes on your pain, like it was entertainment. But when you rebuilt yourself, they panicked, because the reconstruction didn't match their data. You were supposed to come back gentler, humbler, apologetic, but instead, you came back divine, untouchable, sharp, holy. They don't get it. They can't. Because they were watching your body fall apart, but they weren't watching your soul evolve. They didn't see the nights you screamed at the ceiling and heard nothing but your own heartbeat answering back. That pulse whispering, keep going. They didn't see the moment when pain stopped hurting and started teaching. When despair became a doorway. When you realized that even in the ruins, your spirit was still whispering, we're not done. You took the blueprint of everything that broke you and reverse engineered it into wisdom. You turned betrayal into insight, rejection into clarity, and grief into raw architecture. You didn't just heal. You upgraded the operating system, and now every time someone tries to hurt you, they just activate the firewall of your evolution. That's why they fear you, because you became proof that suffering doesn't end people. It reforges them. You became evidence that pain is not punishment, it's preparation. And now the world doesn't know what to do with something that doesn't bend, doesn't beg, doesn't bleed the same way anymore. You don't even chase peace now. You radiate it. Because when you've stared into oblivion long enough, you realize that peace isn't soft. It's a kind of armor, a quiet defiance, a refusal to lose your soul in a world that trades authenticity for applause. And now the applause sounds hollow, doesn't it? You hear it in their voices, the ones who used to mock you, now trying to mimic you. They copy your cadence, your stillness, your mystery. They want to know how you rebuilt that God inside you. But they'll never understand that the rebuild wasn't an act. It was an awakening. It wasn't about becoming something new. It was about remembering what you've always been. You were divine before they hurt you. You were chosen before they doubted you. You were infinite before you even realized you were broken. They wanted to break your faith, but all they did was make it personal. They wanted to humiliate you publicly, but all they did was advertise your rebirth. They wanted to bury you, but you were a seed, and they didn't read the fine print. You rose differently this time, not like a hero, like a problem, like something sacred that refuses to stay polite. Your light isn't gentle anymore. It interrogates, it exposes, it makes people nervous because it carries the memory of every lie you've outlived. And that's the thing, isn't it? You don't even want revenge. Because revenge is for those who still crave recognition. You're past that. You don't need them to know they lost. Their silence tells you everything. Their eyes darting away when you enter a room, that's confession enough. They can't even meet the God they accidentally rebuilt. And you walk like a storm disguised as serenity. You smile like someone who's seen hell and found it overrated. You move like prophecy now. Every gesture, every choice, every glance, it all carries weight. Because you earned it. You earned your quiet. You earned your boundaries. You earned your name back in blood and brilliance. You know what they call people like you now. An anomaly, a glitch in the control system, because you're not supposed to exist. A being who knows both divinity and damnation, who can wield both compassion and chaos. That's not something they can label. But you don't need their labels anymore. You're past psychology, past prophecy. You've become myth. And myths don't explain themselves to mortals. So let them keep wondering. Let them search your scars for answers. Let them dissect your silence, your laughter, your calm. They'll never decode it, because what you are now was never meant to be understood. It was meant to be felt. And when they do, when their chests tighten and their hearts race at the sight of you, don't apologize. That's not intimidation, that's recognition. They're remembering what they once were before they forgot, before they broke, before they stopped believing in their own divine machinery. So walk slow. Let the world burn if it must. Because the fire doesn't scare you anymore, does it? You are the fire. You are the storm. You are the resurrection they swore was impossible. They watched you break. Now they worship the version of you that refused to stay dead. And somewhere, deep down, they know the truth. They didn't create your power. They revealed it. And that's the part that will haunt them forever. So this is what they don't tell you, isn't it? That divinity doesn't descend, it erupts. That salvation doesn't arrive, it's summoned. That the version of you they destroyed was the incubation chamber for something ancient. You didn't heal because time passed. You healed because time snapped. Because one night, when the world had gone quiet and every voice had abandoned you, You decided to stop waiting for a sign. You became it. That's when everything changed. That's when the pain stopped being a weapon they used against you and started being the language you used to speak to the universe. That's when you understood that God wasn't in the sky. He was the whisper inside you saying, "Stand up." And you did. Not gracefully, not gently, but violently, like a phoenix that remembers every feather that burned. You rose through the smoke, eyes open, heart armored, carrying the memory of your own funeral in your grin. You became the lesson they never wanted written, because your survival exposes their comfort as weakness. Your rebirth proves that control is an illusion. Your calm mocks their chaos. Your silence exposes every scream that used to define you. They're still watching, of course. They'll always watch, because nothing terrifies the broken more than someone who used their own ruin as leverage. They'll try to explain you away. You changed. You got cold. You lost your softness. No, you refined it. You kept your heart, but you removed the handles. Now you give without bleeding. You love without begging. You shine without asking permission. You don't need validation from mortals who haven't survived their own deaths yet. You are post-human, half myth, half memory, fully awake. You are the calm grin between chaos and creation. You are the laugh echoing through the system that thought it erased you. And when they ask, because they will, how did you rebuild that God inside you? Just tilt your head, let the grin spread slow, and say, I stopped pretending he was missing, because he was never gone. He was just buried under everything they told you to be, under obedience, under fear, under the noise of a world allergic to awakening. And once you dug him out, once you breathed him back to life, the light didn't come from above. It leaked from within, through your scars, through your voice, through your eyes that now see both heaven and hell and call them home. So this is where it ends, not with revenge, not with applause, with knowing. Knowing that no matter what they take, they can never unmake what you've become. Because you don't just survive anymore. You alter reality by existing. Let them stare, let them whisper, let them tremble. They watched you break. And now they're witnessing the unthinkable. A soul that refused extinction. A God reborn in human skin. And the scariest part? You're just getting started. Look who's still standing. The one they swore would never recover. The ghost they laughed at in public and whispered about in private. They thought humiliation would bury you. But all it did was exhume something ancient. See, you don't bounce back from that kind of betrayal. You mutate. You don't heal. You evolve into an instrument. They saw a collapse. What they really witnessed was a metamorphosis conducted in silence. And now, the same mouths that spat your name are whispering prayers to survive your silence. Because silence, my friend, is where monsters sharpen their mercy. You didn't clap back. You vanished. You let the noise eat itself alive while you learned how to turn shame into strategy. You let the humiliation ferment until it became pure psychological venom. You learned what they don't teach in any therapy book. That humiliation isn't the end of a chapter. It's a ritual of rebirth. They thought they could humiliate you. Now their world is under review. Because somewhere in the data, between their laughs and your breakdown, the universe took notes. And karma, oh, she doesn't rush. She audits. She files reports in your name, line by line. Every insult, every fake apology, every smirk captured like CCTV from the divine. And when she moves, it's never emotional. It's surgical. You know what's funny? They thought your fall was entertainment. They didn't realize you were collecting behavioral evidence. They mocked you publicly, and you learned public psychology. They lied about you, and you learned narrative control. They rejected you, and you learned how to be unforgettable. They humiliated you, and in doing so, they built your origin story. You see, humiliation is only powerful to the weak. To you, it became fuel. It became the underground fire that burned every trace of hesitation left in your system. While they partied over your ashes, you were memorizing blueprints. While they laughed at your silence, you were training your expression to be unreadable. While they mocked your pain, you were dissecting their patterns like a scientist studying parasites. You didn't just heal. You documented the entire case. You know every tone, every word, every smirk they used when they thought you were beneath them. You remember who didn't defend you. And that memory? It became your new moral compass, calibrated to precision revenge. Now the scales are turning, aren't they? Their followers have questions. Their stories don't align. Their smiles tremble when someone mentions your name. Their world, the one they thought was solid, is fracturing under the weight of your silence. Because silence, when weaponized by someone who feels nothing left to lose, becomes divine law. You didn't destroy them. You simply let truth perform the autopsy, and truth has no mercy. It only reports. So here you are. No announcement, no comeback post, no warning shot. You just exist again, evolved, unpredictable, unrecognizable. The humiliation that was meant to finish you became your encryption key. You now walk through their systems like a phantom, triggering alarms they didn't even know existed. They'll call it karma, but you know better. Karma is just physics with a poetic twist. Every action, every mockery, every ounce of cruelty, stored in the magnetic field of consequence. And now, that field is reversing polarity. Their own energy is folding back into their spine like a snake biting its own tail. You're not here for revenge. You're here for reckoning. You don't want apologies. You want truth exposure. You don't need to ruin their lives. You just need them to face the one reflection they've been avoiding: you. Because you're not a victim of humiliation anymore. You're the examiner, the auditor, the cosmic inspector of energy distribution. You hold the clipboard now, and their names, they're all on the list. It's poetic, isn't it? The ones who humiliated you are now performing for your forgiveness, without even realizing that the audience has left. They're still trying to impress ghosts that already moved on. They're rehearsing pride while drowning in paranoia. Every vibration they send out now comes back distorted. Because you, the one they mocked, rewired the signal. That's the final twist, isn't it? You didn't just survive humiliation. You absorbed it. You turned it into psychological immunity. Now nothing they say penetrates. It just ricochets. They can't shame you. You've already been to hell and learned its language. You don't fear the dark. You negotiate with it. They think you disappeared, but no. You integrated. You became every lesson they refused to learn. You became what the universe sends when pride goes unchecked. So let them sleep uneasy. Let them wonder why your silence sounds like thunder. Let them pretend they don't feel your presence in every room they enter. Because deep down, they know the truth. They tried to humiliate a soul that had already been purified by pain. They didn't bury you. They planted an apocalypse. And now, the review has begun. And you know what's funny? They don't even remember the exact words they said. But you do. Every tone, every snicker, every fake smirk. It's archived, not in your bitterness, no. In your clarity. The kind that comes when the mask of humanity finally cracks and you stop pretending you don't see people. for what they are. You saw the audience cheer while you burned, and you memorized every single face that clapped. They thought they could humiliate you, but humiliation only works on someone still seeking approval. You stopped wanting their validation the moment you realized their applause was counterfeit. They laugh at pain they've never survived. They mock silence they could never maintain. They shame depth because it exposes their own shallowness. You were never weak. You were misplaced among cowards. And now you carry that humiliation like a crown of fire. Every ember, every flicker of mockery, melted into metal and reforged into authority. You don't need to announce your vengeance. You embody it. Every quiet move you make now radiates a vibration that disturbs their nervous systems. They don't know why they're anxious when your name comes up. They don't know why the air feels heavy when you enter a room. But the body knows. It remembers what the mind denies. And their bodies remember you. You see, humiliation teaches what comfort never could, how to weaponize grace. You learned how to look calm while chaos erupts behind your eyes, how to make stillness intimidating, how to make absence feel like punishment. You discovered the art of letting karma do the talking. And oh, it's eloquent. Now the same people who mocked you are monitoring you. The same ones who called you broken are refreshing your page at 3 a.m., trying to decode your silence. They don't know what you're building, but they can feel it. They sense that something's forming, something too big to stop, too precise to track, too poetic to survive. Every empire has its audit season, and theirs has begun. You became the quiet anomaly in their story. The glitch they can't debug. Their gossip collapses when your name surfaces. Their alliances tremble because truth doesn't ask for permission anymore. It just appears. And here's the paradox, isn't it? You don't even want revenge. You outgrew it. Revenge is for those who still feel emotional attachment to the game. You detached. You became the law of equilibrium. You became what the universe uses to restore balance. Every ounce of energy they spent trying to degrade you is now fueling your ascent. Because humiliation, when digested properly, becomes nuclear clarity. They thought they broke your confidence, but what they actually broke was your illusion of belonging. And once you stop needing to belong, you become dangerous. You start moving like a storm, unpredictable, uncontrollable, unbothered. You stop trying to prove your worth and start radiating inevitability. And that's what terrifies them most. Your composure. They wanted you angry. They wanted you emotional. They wanted you to scream, to beg, to crumble. But instead you smiled like someone who saw behind the curtain. You understood that humiliation isn't destruction. It's a disguise. Behind every public defeat hides a private initiation. They thought they took your reputation. They actually purified your frequency. They thought they damaged your image. They actually erased your weakness. They thought they were writing your ending. They were only writing their confession. Now every time they tell the story, they expose themselves a little more. Every attempt to discredit you makes their motives look filthier. Every denial sounds rehearsed. Every fake laugh cracks on delivery. Because you can't outrun the vibration of guilt. It stains, it echoes, it follows. And as they speak, the world begins to notice. People start connecting dots. The timelines don't add up. The energy doesn't match. The truth leaks through the smallest cracks. And the whole illusion starts to collapse in slow motion. You don't even have to lift a finger. That's the divine joke, isn't it? You were their entertainment. Now they're your documentary. Every rumor they started became an archive entry. Every lie became a timestamp. Every humiliation became metadata for their eventual exposure. They're not under attack, they're under review. By life itself, by cause and consequence, by the natural law they laughed at. And you're just sitting in the back row, silent, smiling, watching the rerun of a play that no longer has power over you. Because somewhere along the way, you stopped being human in the conventional sense. You became a mirror. And mirrors don't argue, they reflect. They humiliated you to make themselves feel holy. But when they looked down, they didn't see your fall. They saw their reflection kneeling in your ashes. They tried to strip you of dignity, but they forgot. Dignity doesn't die when you're humiliated. It resurrects when you decide not to explain yourself. That's the moment you stopped being prey. That's the moment the predator became confused. That's when they realized humiliation can't hurt someone who already embraced their shadow. So now, the cycle reverses. Their laughter echoes in empty rooms. Their wins feel hollow. Their names trigger the same disgust they once aimed at you. And every time the truth breathes, their world loses oxygen. They thought they could humiliate you, but all they did was force you into awakening. And awakening, my dear, is irreversible. Now every humiliation becomes prophecy. Every insult becomes documentation. Every scar becomes handwriting in divine ink. You are no longer reacting, you are recording. The light in your eyes? That's not forgiveness. It's awareness sharpened into judgment. The smile on your face? That's not peace. It's a verdict disguised as grace. And every breath you take now, it's evidence of what happens when you crucify the wrong soul. So let them run their mouths. Let them laugh a little louder. Every sound they make is being filed. Every echo is being timed. Because the review isn't coming. It's already happening. And when the report is finished, when every lie has been measured against the silence you endured, when every smirk is replayed in karmic clarity, they'll finally understand what humiliation really feels like. When the entire world sees who was laughing and who was learning. The trial is cosmic. The outcome was decided long ago. And you were never the defendant. You were the test. Funny, isn't it? How the universe takes its time. How justice doesn't knock. It arrives in silence. You never saw the gavel drop. But you can feel it in the air now. Every shift in the wind. Every uneasy glance. Every little thing that reminds them that something changed. They can't name it, but they know it. The same energy they used to humiliate you. Now it's orbiting back, whispering in their ears at 3 a.m., replaying every cruel word they ever spoke like a looping surveillance tape they can't switch off. They thought you were weak when you broke, but weakness is what the ignorant call transformation in progress. You were never breaking, you were reassembling. Every crack in you was a new entry point for truth to pour in. They laughed while you shattered, but they didn't notice what you were building underneath the noise. That's the trick, isn't it? The ones who laugh the loudest never hear the blueprint forming beneath their own echo. They thought they could humiliate you. But humiliation only works when someone still fears losing an image. You lost yours and became formless. You burned your ego in public and walked out of the flames invisible. They couldn't mock you anymore because you stopped existing in the same dimension. Their words hit air. Their gossip hit walls. You became a rumor that breathes, a frequency that travels without needing to defend itself. You see, humiliation is just a mirror in disguise. It shows everyone who they really are. And when they pointed their fingers at you, the reflection stared back with their faces on it. They didn't realize they were documenting their own decay. They thought the crowd was laughing at you, but the crowd was laughing with you, subconsciously aware that something sacred was shifting. You turned shame into signal. You made their mockery magnetic, and oh, the silence that followed. That's what they fear most, because silence means control. Silence means data collection. Silence means power rearranging itself in the background. You taught them that disappearing is a move. You taught them that humility is camouflage for prophecy. They wanted to see you collapse. Instead, you recalibrated gravity. They see you now and can't process what you've become. The same eyes that once rolled in arrogance now flicker in panic. Because what they see is not revenge, it's reconfiguration. You no longer react. You don't explain. You don't argue. You simply exist, and your existence alone is indictment enough. They don't know it yet, but you're the one writing the final report. Every time they open their mouth, their world shrinks. Every post, every gossip thread, every attempt to rewrite history, it all feeds into the same file. You know what that file's called? Consequences. And it's not written in ink. It's written in patterns, missed opportunities, lost sleep, sudden paranoia, the uneasy awareness that they've been seen by something far greater than human witnesses. You became that mirror in their consciousness, the one they can't look away from, the one that doesn't accuse but simply reflects. That's the cruelest part of karmic justice. It doesn't punish, it reveals. And what's being revealed now is them. Do you remember how they celebrated your pain? How they performed empathy just long enough to look righteous? How they turned your suffering into social currency? Well, the exchange rate expired. The market corrected itself. Now their name is the currency that's devaluing every time it's spoken. The people they once convinced are starting to sense the lie. Not because anyone said it, but because truth has texture. You can feel it. It hums through the atmosphere like electricity before a storm. The same storm they helped summon. You've become the weather now. You've become the event they can't predict, the pattern they can't explain. You don't fight anymore because fighting is for those who still seek fairness. You operate on balance. You let energy redistribute itself, and in doing so, you let them implode in slow motion. Every room they enter now feels colder. Every smile feels heavier. Because somewhere deep in their subconscious, they know. The review is still ongoing. The case isn't closed. The energy they misused hasn't forgotten its assignment. It's circling back, methodical, mathematical, merciless, and you watch it unfold with that half-smile only the initiated understand, the smile of someone who's seen the machinery behind the curtain. You no longer need revenge. You have revelation. You no longer crave applause. You have awareness. You no longer chase closure. You are the closure. They thought humiliation would make you smaller, but it made you surgical. You now move with precision they can't mimic. You speak in riddles they can't decode. You breathe in frequencies they can't survive in. Every time you exhale, something in their constructed world crumbles a little more. And here's the most poetic twist of all. You didn't even have to touch them. You just had to understand them. And understanding is the highest form of control. You see, when you study the psychology of cruelty long enough, you start to see the gears turning behind it. You start to see how predictable evil really is. And once you see it, you can dismantle it without even moving. They can't sleep now, can they? Every creak in the house sounds like accountability. Every random silence feels like surveillance. Every "it's nothing" moment carries your ghost in it. They can't post without thinking of you. They can't laugh without hearing your name whisper through the static. They can't plan their next move because deep down, they know their next move is irrelevant. Because you already transcended the board. You were the pawn, then the anomaly, then the algorithm. Now you are the system's audit. And audits don't announce themselves. They just arrive when the data doesn't add up. They thought they could humiliate you. But humiliation is just an initiation. One only the chosen survive. You did not survive by chance. You survived because the universe wanted witnesses. Witnesses to what happens when cruelty touches the wrong soul. So let them whisper. Let them pretend nothing happened. Because it's not over. It's recorded. And recordings don't forget. They loop. They echo. They remind. The universe has already written the verdict. And the closing statement. It's your silence. Still echoing in their guilty minds.